Liverpool has given transfer hope to Alexander Isak, while Newcastle United worries and the £200 million PSR claims are made. Nunez moves closer to a transfer to Napoli, with the Reds seriously interested in the 26-goal striker. Liverpool joins the Gyökeres race to hijack Arsenal's transfer with set departure to generate interesting offer. A very warm welcome, fellow fan. Come check out the latest news from the greatest club in the world. Liverpool is keeping an eye on Alexander Isak this summer transfer window, but Newcastle United doesn't want to hear anything about negotiations. The club is preparing to offer the Swedish striker a new multi-million-pound contract in an attempt to ward off any interest, including ours. And honestly, you can't blame the Magpies. Isak had an outstanding 2024/25 season. He scored 23 goals in the Premier League and also secured the League Cup title with a decisive goal in the final against Liverpool at Wembley. It was Newcastle's first trophy in 70 years, and he was the star of that achievement. At 25 years old, the Swedish striker has established himself as one of the best forwards in world football, and it's natural that he attracts attention. Liverpool, of course, is among the clubs that admire his football. According to The Times, Newcastle is concerned about a possible offer from the Reds at the beginning of next month. In response, they are willing to make Isak the highest-paid player in the squad, with a salary exceeding £150,000 per week. Even so, the offer may still fall short of what Liverpool is prepared to offer, both in terms of salary and sporting ambition. The truth is, despite winning the Premier League title under Arne in his debut season, Liverpool needs to strengthen the attack. Darwin Nunez, in his third season, continues to struggle with consistency. He was a starter in only 8 league games and scored just 7 goals across all competitions. Diogo Jota once again struggled with injuries and returned out of rhythm. Luis Diaz ended up being improvised as a centre-forward for long stretches, despite being a natural winger. It's clear, we need a real number 9, someone with presence in the box, mobility, and a knack for scoring goals. Isak fits all these requirements. Financially, the club is strong. We've already invested about £200 million this window, with half of that spent on signing Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. According to the Liverpool Echo, there is still room within the Premier League's financial sustainability rules to spend another £200 million without breaching any regulations. In other words, if the opportunity arises, Liverpool can afford to make a bid of up to £150 million for Isak and still meet his wage demands. The big question is, does Newcastle want to sell? The answer for now is no. The team has qualified for the 2025-26 Champions League and has the financial backing of the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund. They don't need to sell, and right now they seem determined to keep the Swedish striker. So will Liverpool sign Alexander Isak? As things stand today, it seems unlikely, but the fact that we have financial power and a clear need for a striker keeps hope alive. Isak is the kind of signing that would elevate the squad and could be pivotal in ushering in a new era of success at Anfield. If he wants to take the next step in his career at a club with history, titles, and a passionate fan base, Liverpool is waiting. Darwin Nunez is one step away from leaving Anfield, and if the situation continues to unfold as it seems, he is indeed set to leave Liverpool. According to Florian Plettenberg from Sky Germany, Napoli has intensified negotiations after receiving the green light from the Uruguayan striker earlier this week. The situation has progressed quickly. David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano confirmed the Italian club's interest on Tuesday, and shortly after, reports emerged that Liverpool had already been in direct contact with Napoli to discuss the terms of a potential deal. It seems clear that Darwin has already made the decision to leave, and from what it looks like, Liverpool won't stand in his way. The most interesting part is that behind the scenes, a replacement has already been identified, and the club is ready to act as soon as the deal is finalised. This only reinforces the idea that Liverpool has a well-structured plan and is not leaving anything to chance, which is always good to see. The reality is that Darwin never truly managed to establish himself at Anfield. He had some moments of brilliance, ran a lot and put in effort, but the key thing, consistency and decisive goals, was lacking. In 3 seasons, he didn't become the centre-forward Liverpool hoped for when they invested heavily with Benfica. That's why, with the club still in control of the situation, a move now seems to make sense for all parties involved. According to reports, Liverpool is looking to recover at least €50 million, around £42 million, of the €75 million invested. Napoli, on the other hand, has reportedly made an offer of €43 million, around £36.4 million. Nothing has been finalised yet, but the negotiations are moving positively. Liverpool believes that Napoli has a good chance of securing the deal, especially since Darwin prefers to continue playing in Europe. With that, the departure of the Uruguayan seems increasingly likely to happen. If Napoli does pay close to €50 million, it would represent a reasonable return for Liverpool, considering the amount paid for the player in 2022. Of course, it's not ideal, as the club is losing part of the investment, but the opportunity to reinvest that money in a player more suited to manager Arne Slot's style of play might be a worthwhile trade in the long run. Nunez has always shown plenty of grit and raw potential, but in a team that demands composure in front of goal and tactical discipline, he often seemed out of sync. For many fans, the feeling is that a fresh start for him and for Liverpool might be the best route. Now, all eyes are on Napoli. If the Italian club pays what Liverpool is asking, it's very likely that Darwin will say his goodbyes to Anfield. However, this deal still depends on how Napoli will fare in terms of player sales. The departure of Viktor Osimhen, which seems increasingly certain, could be crucial for this. If he is sold for a substantial amount, Napoli will have the necessary funds to strengthen their position in negotiations with Liverpool. Until then, Liverpool stands firm. Napoli sees Darwin Nunez as their primary attacking target and will not look for another player for the position until negotiations with Liverpool are concluded. So, all indications are that this transfer story is far from being resolved, but as fans, we can only wait to see how it unfolds. Whatever the outcome, the important thing is that the club is focused on the future and building a more competitive squad for the next season. Liverpool has firmly entered the race to sign Viktor Gyökeres, aiming to get ahead of Arsenal and secure the striker who has been standing out as one of the top scorers of the season in Europe. The Reds' interest in Gyökeres comes at a time of intense activity in the transfer market, with the team at Anfield undergoing a major overhaul since winning their 20th Premier League title. Milos Kerkez is already practically secured as the club's 4th signing this summer, and Liverpool has no plans to stop there. Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong and Armin Pexi have already joined, and now the focus is on further strengthening the squad with a new striker, a winger and possibly a centre-back. The interest in Gyökeres is also closely tied to the imminent departure of Darwin Nunez, with reports indicating that Napoli is increasingly likely to finalise the transfer of the Uruguayan. Al Nassr from Saudi Arabia tried to sign him in January, but now, with Nunez falling down the pecking order under Arne Slot, his departure seems inevitable. The expectation is that Napoli will be the most probable destination for Darwin. On Monday night, Florian Plettenberg emphasised that Napoli has a good chance of signing Nunez, and Liverpool is already seriously interested in a possible replacement. The situation is unfolding rapidly, and Viktor Gyökeres' name has emerged as a strong contender. Gyökeres, one of the standout players in European football, reportedly informed Sporting Lisbon of his desire to leave this summer, with several Premier League clubs, including Arsenal and Liverpool, in the race. Reports indicate that Arsenal, the favourite to sign the striker, would have the upper hand, with Fabrizio Romano confirming that Gyökeres' priority is to move to the London club and play in the Champions League. The player himself has not rejected Manchester United, but has made it clear that his preference is to join Arsenal. However, a report from the Portuguese newspaper Correio da Manhã revealed that Liverpool has joined the race for Gyökeres, willing to sell Nunez and making an interesting offer to Sporting Lisbon. However, the Portuguese club is only willing to negotiate a sale for €80 million. With Nunez's possible departure nearly confirmed and Barcelona very interested in signing Luis Diaz, the Reds see Gyökeres as the ideal addition to further strengthen their attack. Not only do they have the financial resources to make it happen, but the need to bolster the forward line is a priority, and Gyökeres could be the key to that. Nunez's future now seems increasingly distant from Anfield, and with that, the movement to secure the Swedish striker is heating up. If Liverpool can make a solid offer, Gyökeres could be the reinforcement Arne needs to take the team to new heights in the upcoming season. Thank you very much for watching until the end. See you next time.